stands that would beat Tusk. Strap in and brace yourself for the ultimate showdown, as I reveal the 5 stands that can take on this unbeatable force and emerge victorious. Okay, everyone likes Johnny. In fact, it is very difficult to hear someone says that Johnny is the worst Yojo, or that he has the lamest stand. Actually, has yet to be born someone who thinks this way about Tusk and Johnny, but the fact is that Johnny's stand is not invincible. Despite having one of the most broken abilities, and in most cases he was extremely helpful, there are really cool ways to defeat Tusk. So in today's video, we will talk about the stands that would defeat Johnny Joestar's Tusk. But before, a quick remind, we need your help to make our community thrive. So if you love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as much as I do, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll never miss a new upload. And don't forget to like, comment and share our videos with your friends JoJo fan. And let me know in the comments which are the stands you think would defeat Tusk. And you can't just say Gold Experience Requiem, cause then it would be too easy. Now I know I'm treading on very thin ice with this one, so let's get this over with. Just like Echoes is divided into 3 acts, Tusk is divided into 4. And now to give some context of the powers of Tusk, I need to dive into each act, so sit tight, because it's story time. Despite having a corporeal form, Tusk's powers functions as a supernatural ability that Johnny must use personally to fight like a gunman. Tusk Act 1 is overall quite weak and isn't sufficient to challenge most stand users. Tusk Act 1 grants Johnny the ability to imbue his nails with a spin. Johnny is able to make his fingernails, and later toenails, spin themselves at a high velocity and shoot them like bullets up to 10 meters. The nails have immense cutting power, capable of slicing through rock, cutting limbs clean off, or carving a tree into a humanoid shape in a matter of seconds. However, they do not possess the power to cut through metal. Once Johnny shoots a fingernail, they take a short time to grow back. Tusk Act 2 is the first evolved form of Tusk, except when Johnny makes progress in the technique of the spin and uses the golden rectangle. Once Johnny learns to imbue his fingernails with the spin in accordance with the golden rectangle, it greatly enhances the basic properties of his shot. When Johnny activates Tusk, the fingernails now rotate around his fingers. Thus, when he shoots the fingernails, they possess a drilling property, which dramatically increases the power of the shots. For instance, one shot is able to blast away a large zone on impact. On the downside, the nails regrow considerably slower, and as such, Johnny must save his nails, or he will find himself out of ammunition. In addition to the damage boost, the nail shots gain a new property. After they land, they disappear and leave a bullet hole. This hole, created through the rotation, can automatically chase after any target designated by Johnny, leaving a dark trail behind them. The holes act as though the target was hit by a bullet in the location they touch, and the holes shrink and disappear after a while. Tusk Act 3. By shooting himself with a spin-imbued fingernail with aerial rotation, Johnny is able to suck his body into the hole it creates. The hole created by the nail shot, specifically the small rotating point at the end of the hole, becomes a special space, which due to the infinite proportion of Johnny's spin is also infinite and becomes a wormhole through space. A tailpiece theorizes the space as a boundary between dimensions. Johnny alone can enter that location, and anything other than him will be cut. This ability is limited by how long the holes can persist in the world. By moving the hole while his body is inside, Johnny is able to quickly reposition himself or key parts of him, such as his shooting hands, and attack from unexpected angles. Because the hole functions as a wormhole, anything sending to it will exit through the other end, although it will be severed, and this includes enemy attack. Tusk Act 4 embodies the infinite energy and rotation of the golden spin, and it is able to deploy it in various ways. Following the principle of the golden spin, the energy wielded and embodied by Tusk Act 4 is infinite, allowing a wide array of otherwise impossible feats. One of the first abilities displayed by Tusk Act 4 is to be able to break through the dimensional barrier of Love Train and enter the space in which Valentine hides. Moreover, Tusk Act 4 defies the laws of gravity, and therefore can move slightly, probably still influence the ego during the stopped time. The damage caused by the rotation is stated to be probably infinite as well. Like with Act 2 and Act 3, the energy of the spin can persist inside objects, even if Johnny misses a nail shot, and it can be redirected toward a target. If Act 4 touches someone, it imbues the target with an infinite spinning motion. Not only does part of the body separate to spin, everything down to individual cells spin on themselves, greatly distorting the shape of the victim. Eventually, the targets are disintegrated by by the rotation, and according to Diego, sent to another dimension. Not even a soul will be left behind. The spin goes on forever and never leaves the person or their stand, forcing them to return to the place where they were hit, or its equivalent in each parallel dimension. Thus, Funny Valentine was not able to escape it despite switching dimension and body, always returning to the underground location in which he was hit. If someone uses a tool, like a carriage, the spin will imbue itself into the tool and destroy it, forcing the target back into their location. The rotation won't end unless Johnny shoots the target with a similar rotation that is spinning in the opposite direction, resulting in the two of them cancelling each other out. He can, however, shortcut the process as a last-ditch effort, using a steel ball to temporarily galvanize his horse's movement, following the principle of the golden spin, wielded and embodied by Tusk Act 4. Tusk Act 4 can also apply the spin's energy in a more similar fashion to its previous forms, and directly open a large space where there was none. The spin is also transferable between objects, as the Diego Brando from another universe cut his leg off and threw it to Johnny, transferring the infinite rotation to him. That being said, it is not one of the strongest stands in the series, far from that actually, because stands should be ranked overall based on flexibility. For example, while a stand like Tusk Act 4 is good, its main ability is limited because it has to be used on a horse, which makes it somewhat worse than stands like Star Platinum or the World that can manipulate time and move at light speed. However, in retrospect, the stand is good because of the one-shot potential and the boundaries that it can cross. It's kind of the same way for Go Beyond. Like, even though Go Beyond was able to beat Wonder of You in an actual ranking, I would still put Go Beyond below it because Wonder of You has just way more favorable matchups. Same with Love Train in Tusk Act 4. It may be the strongest offensive power in the series, but the trade-off is that Johnny can only use its infinite spin when on a horse. Meanwhile, Love Train lets you stalemate almost any opponent. Now let's get to the stand users who would beat Tusk. First we have Kakyoin. The fight would go down like this. Imagine Johnny and Kakyoin are fighting, and to be as fair as possible, they will confront each other at great distance, since both stands have the means to combat under such certain stand. Anyways, Johnny shoots the nails imbued with infinite spin. Kakyoin from afar can shoot the emerald splash. The emeralds hit the nail and deters the projectiles before it can get to him, in addition to preventing Tusk from coming any closer. After Johnny runs out of ammunition and the stand regresses to Act 3, Kakyoin can simply shoot another emerald splash and finish the enemy, since there will be no way for Johnny to deflect it. Harvest. Harvest is the stand of the weirdest child in JoJo. Harvest is a long-range colony-type stand that makes up for its low power with its mob, which can easily burrow under a person's clothes and scrape their flesh, although it is not suitable for performing precise movements. Shigeshi is imaginative with Harvest's technique and utilizes it in various ways, such as collecting coins and other items across Morio to make money, intoxicating his opponent, traveling faster, and hiding himself by camouflaging. Using Harvest's abilities, Shigeshi was capable of overwhelming Josuke and Okuyasu, as well as temporarily escaping from Yoshikage Kira. An individual unit of Harvest is fairly weak, although its fists have enough power to punch a correspondingly small hole through human flesh. In combat, Harvest will swamp someone and attack weak points like the eye. Shigeshi has also threatened to sever Kira's carotid on one occasion. In addition, Harvest's units are quite fast, able to outpace a very fast runner. Working together, the units can carry Shigeshi faster than a man can run, and even scale the side of a building like a caterpillar. Each of Harvest's 500 units can be destroyed with ease, but with little to no effect on Shigeshi himself, as the damage is divided by 500. Thus, Shigeshi is more resilient than average in a fight, unless his own body is targeted. You didn't see that coming, did you? But let me explain my line of reasoning. So if Johnny shoots the nail with the infinite spin at Shigeshi, one of these tiny fellows can jump right into the course of the nail bullet to protect him, while loads of others mob Johnny to attack him directly, since without his fingernails and the physical powers of Tusk Act 4, Johnny doesn't really have any way to protect himself from anything. Mating Heaven has the power to manipulate the gravitational force of the Earth, Moon, and possibly the entire universe to accelerate time exponentially, preventing any living being from being able to accompany it, other than its user. In this way, Pucci appears to be moving at high speeds, but he is actually synchronized with the accelerated time, and from his point of view, all others appear to be in slow motion. Although the stand is not strong, his extreme speed is enough to kill people easily. However, Pucci is not invulnerable, being able to be injured by someone with equivalent speed, and the interference of time also does not make his wounds heal faster. Now for the universal reset. As the speed of time increases, the universe reaches a collapse point in which the universe condenses and then recreates itself in the same way as before, according to the predetermined fate. However, people's spirits will continue to guard unconscious memories of the previous universe, so according to Pucci, this would be the true paradise because humanity could face destiny knowing this in advance. The user is the only one who can modify destiny, so he can shape destiny in his own way, and thus any person or living being killed by Pucci in the previous universe has its spirit destroyed in exchange with that of a similar person, although the examples show data in which the modified version looks more like a caricature of the original. Despite this control, Pucci is unable to determine how his actions will change other people's fates, which led to his defeat. When the user dies before the point where the previous understanding would have started, as a consequence, a new reset occurs and a new universe is created where the events diverge from the previous one, possibly nullifying the events that would lead to the very creation of the stand. Let me ask you this now. How would Tusk even land a single nail shot on Pucci or beat him up, considering the unimaginable speed of Mating Heaven? There is no way this is happening. In Silent Way's basic ability is to store sounds in objects or even people. By affecting an object with a characteristic action, Sandman stores the corresponding sound in the object. If someone touches said object, the sound is released as a hazard characteristic of that same sound. For instance, if a cutting sound is stored inside a ladder, anyone or anything touching the ladder would be cut to pieces. It allows Sandman to ambush enemies with environmental hazards while hiding. Sandman can create and manipulate artificial constructs out of sounds in the environment. If he affects an object, he can mold it into either an independent creature in which the corresponding sound effect is engraved, or even three-dimensional sound effects. Those constructs are able to move around, and with the right form, can fly to a target to attack them. Unlike the sound storage, sound constructs can selectively affect the object they touch. Depending on the material, the sound attacks can be dampened or enhanced. A fire sound going through mud will be weakened, as it is said that water is the best medium through which he can send sounds. Its power has already been shown to be able to move out of the way of the spin bullets, so it's safe to assume that Sandman can avoid the infinite spin shots. All he has to do is prevent being hit by all the remaining infinite spin and powered nails, and switch to a direct way of attacking. Soft and Wet is the stand of our dear Josuke Higashikata, referred to by the JoJo fandom as Gappy. If Johnny managed to launch a nail bullet, which possessed the same velocity as a common handgun bullet, Josuke could use his bubbles to capture Johnny's fingernails and maintain himself unharmed throughout the entire fight. That, coupled with the fact that Soft and Wet doesn't even have to get close to Johnny and risk having to spar with Act 4, makes things a lot easier. If anything, all Johnny's nails would do is nullify the go beyond bubbles by making them spin in the opposite direction. But unlike Johnny, there is no limit to how much infinite or explosive spin energy Josuke can create. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more content. With that being said, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.